Ruby said she's not going to be here. Okay, cool. I think we have everything that we need. See if more people come in. All right, so today is Tuesday the 26th, which means we only have Tuesday, Thursday, and then again in June, we have another Tuesday and another Thursday. So it's this week and next week for class, and we are done. Then the following week, you guys have finals on the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. So you're going to go to class, and I'm going to explain to you how it is going to work. Let me just grab that email very quick where it tells me the times. Somebody is trying to go in. Oh, go ahead, Sable.
Remember, I have finals the first of the week.
Yes, yes. So, yes, I'll talk to you separately in just a second. Let me grab my calendar for the finals. Okay, there it is. Okay, so here's our finals. All right, so for our class, you guys are not in 9th grade, and this applies to you. So in June the 8th, you are going to go to your first period from 8 to 9:30. So in June the 8th is a Monday. So that Monday, you're gonna go to your first and your third period only. So you're the way you usually do, but only 2 periods of the day. And both periods will last around an hour and a half. So I don't know if you guys are taking finals on your first period, but that's how you're gonna go. For our class, our final day is on the 10th. So that's Wednesday, okay? That's when your projects will be due. So that's the deadline for your projects. And the deadline for your projects is in class. So not midnight. I'm not accepting anything late. If it's not in by class time, it's a 0. You can move the world if you want, but I'm not going to accept it because I don't have time to grade stuff after it's due, because my grades are due the 11th. I close books Wednesday night. So nothing you turn in, I'm going to really grade after the deadline. So you need to make sure that you're working on what we're going to do. And to be honest, if you have fallen behind, you're somewhat of in a deep hole, because we've been doing a lot of work building towards this project. We've pretty much done half of the work already. So, but if you haven't done it, then you got a lot of work to do, and you need to get it together and make it happen. But again, it's just a choice you've made. So yeah, we don't have that much left. I am done for the year. I'm not gonna do any more explaining. I'm done. We're done with the readings. We are done. I'm just getting myself to get grade on your graphic organizers, which I need 5 readings. So that means I need a total of 10 quotes. It's 150 points in your grade book, which is like 4, no, not even 4. It's like 6 homeworks put together in one. So it's a lot. It is a lot. And if you haven't turned it in, that's a 0. That's a big 0 for, imagine zeros in 6 homeworks altogether. So it's a lot. So yeah, so that's kind of how the rest of the year looks. We don't have that much. We only have this week and next week, but this week is pretty much done with. On Thursday, we'll have our last class. And then Sable, your project will still be due the 10th, just to give you more time. And then on Thursday, I'm going to explain it. It should not take you more than, I'm going to say, 3 to 4 hours to complete. And then if you want to get it in before that, that's okay. But the grade books don't close until the 11th. So you can have time if you need to after you are done. And then of course, you don't have to come to class on 8, 9, 10, or 11. Like, you're done with the school year. Okay? And I don't know if you have checked, Sable, but your grade did improve just by doing all those common lits, which now I really encourage you to get going so you can go up to a better grade. But we'll meet on Thursday and we'll talk about what you're missing. Okay, honey? All right, cool. So that's that. I really wanted you guys to see and have that perspective. You don't have a lot of time. If you're catching up on grades, you really need to like kind of do work faster, because don't have that much time. And I did put a deadline for you guys. If you're turning in late work, Sunday the 31st, so this coming Sunday is my last day to accept late work. After that, I don't promise I'm gonna grade it. Why? When you turn stuff late, I have to go to all kinds of stuff that take me really long time to go into looking for your stuff. And if you don't turn it in appropriately through Google Classroom, it's even harder because then I have to dig into my email. Look, I'm not lying. You guys can see how many people email me every single day. It's not even funny. And not just you guys. Look, the day hasn't started and I already have like 20 emails from people who submitted stuff late, people who just need to meet with me, just all sorts of stuff. So if you're emailing me about, like, I don't know, something small, I can't really promise I'm going to answer. So after Sunday the 31st, if you're turning in like work, it's kind of late to turn it in. I'll take it. I'll do my best to grade it, but again, I do not promise anything because you've had a long time to get these things done. Like if you're just been playing games throughout the distance learning since April, hey, that's your choice. I can't really help you with that. But yeah, so you all have until the 31st to turn in late work. I am going to be meeting with you separately through these meetings when we come to Zoom. So you still have to come to Zoom all the way to Wednesday of the second week of June. So you still have 3 weeks left that you're coming into Zoom because I'm taking attendance, okay? So even though I'm not teaching the class and I'm not addressing the entire class, you're working on your project during our class time. I'm giving you that so that way, if you have other stuff to do or catch up on, it doesn't build up on top of assigning. There is no more homework for the rest of the year. There's no more classwork for the rest of the year. There's no more common lits. There's nothing that's due but the project. And I did that to help those of you who are struggling to get all these late work done and whatnot. But there's no more work due but the project. The only things that are going into the gradebook is the attendance for this week, attendance for next week, and attendance for finals and the final project. That's it. Only those 3 items. The homeworks that I put in are the homeworks that I'm grading. If you have a 0 in your homework, you did not turn it in. Simple as that, and you need to get it in. I saw yesterday people's grades plummeted from B's to D's because they didn't have their work in. I can't do anything. I've told you guys, I don't give grades. I simply look at the work, see the quality of it, the effort that was put into doing the work, and then give a grade. But if there's no work that I can grade, that's a 0. In fact, it's so easy to grade on Google Classroom because if it's missing the attachment, I just put a 0 in. Like, it's automatic. And so you guys know already how it works. 0s take a huge toll on your grade book. If you've ever been trying to get your grade up, you know that full points for an assignment does barely something for your grade. But a 0, it brings it down significantly. 0s are a lot more powerful than complete grades. So it's really up to you whether you want to pass the class or not. At this point, those of you who are struggling to get to the passing grade, it's awesome. Keep doing it. I wanted to publicly praise Sable, Carly, you guys have been working really hard to get your grades up, and everybody else who has been working with me, Josh, Erica, who's been staying as well, you've seen improvement in your grade, and just need to keep going through the end of this semester. So keep working, keep turning in your assignments. I am grading them as I receive them, and going in. And if I've forgotten about something, shoot me a text and say, hey, Ms. Rosas, can you please grade my stuff? You know, you haven't seen it, or there's a lot of you and only one of me. So please have some patience if you turn something in and I didn't grade it, or I didn't see it, and it's, you know, from a while back. It's gonna take me a few days, but I'm getting there. I'm working around the clock to get your stuff done. Okay. All right, cool. So those are the dates. You already know then, and I'll have it written as well in our class plans. Okay, so I've organized Google Classroom a bit so that it's not all over the place and you're not looking everywhere. So in your Google Classroom, under classwork, not stream shows everything, but under classwork, there's the topics, right? We got classwork and homework. That's where you can find all of the stuff that's been assigned. And then as a very first thing, we have the expository writing unit. And that unit, or that topic includes all the readings. It includes the Google Slides that I was working with. It's got that graphic organizer that you all need to turn in, or if you're already done, no need to worry about it. It's got Dave Ramsey's chapter that we read, and it's got, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 articles that we read throughout these weeks. So in total, there are 5 readings that you had to complete these months, as well as the graphic organizer. If you have forgotten about the graphic organizer, it is here. You can make a copy of it and fill it out. I need 10 of these squares. Yes, 10 of these squares to be filled out. Is it 10? Yeah, 10 of them. So it's not hard, you guys. It's literally copying and pasting quotes and doing analysis for them. That's 150 points. That's a total of 6 homeworks put together in one. So if you get a 0 for that one, to be honest, I don't know what to do with you. It's such an easy thing to do. And it also helps you for the project.
How many were we supposed to have?
2 quotes per article. There's 5 articles.
Okay.
Yes. And then here, ooh, happy birthday, Ashley, in advance. We have, okay, so I'll answer the questions as they came in. Eddie asks, how many weeks do we have left? We have this week, next week of class, like regular class. The following week is finals week. Different Zooms meetings, different times, changes all together. Your last day of school is Wednesday, June 10th. That's your last day of school. You take your last final that day. For Sable, it is next week. That's when you're last, but you're not. All of you are freshmen except for Sable. Anastasia, I sent your grandma the invite again because you guys missed the last meeting. It was not at 3:30, it was at 12:30. So I need to meet with you guys again. I think I sent it for 3 o'clock. And she hasn't responded, but I did send it in. So she just has to check her email and join in Zoom with the link that I sent. But we can also meet after class to remind you of it. Josh asks clarification. We're doing an essay on the essential question in our graphic organizer. No, you are not doing an essay. You are doing a creative project. And I'll explain more on that. The reason why you created the graphic organizer is because you're going to include those quotes in your project, which is why having this helps. Well, it's the project itself, right? Because you're going to turn in both your project with your graphic organizer all together. So did I answer your question, Josh? Yes. Okay, let me know. All right. So that's how we've been working. This question is the same question for the project, and I'll show you guys in just a minute. I just want to show you where the stuff is at so no one is confused. It is under expository writing unit. You've got the readings, You've got that PowerPoint we've been looking into. Here's some questions we did. That's the budget, the graphic organizer copy, even like some notes in there. And then there's all the other readings. And again, another copy of the graphic organizer. So really there's no way of getting lost in this one. I need 2 quotes per reading, 2 quotes for this and 2 quotes each. So a total of 10 because there's 5 readings in total, okay? And then if you want to visit the Google Slides and see what we've been doing as well, you are welcome to do that. It is free for you to see. The only thing you can't do is edit it, but it's there for you guys to see. All right. Then I put the project details right up top, and that's what we're going to be going over with in just a second. So this is your project. It's a writing project, but it is not an essay. Okay. So not an essay, not like a intro and body paragraph 1, none of that. It's a little bit more free. There's a little bit more freedom. It gives for a little bit more of a relaxed tone, more instead of an academic one. The audience is high school seniors or students in high school. So you want to have, you want to tailor your message towards high school students. And it's all about finances, and it's all about what we've been talking about for the last, month, basically. Okay, through these past weeks, you've learned a little bit about how to manage finances after high school. You've reviewed how to budget your expenses, how to manage credit cards, best way to save money, buy a car, pay for college, amongst other topics. Now it's time to bring it all together in one project. Unlike other times, an academic essay will not be an option to demonstrate your knowledge. So again, this is not an essay. It's got components of academic writing, like putting quotes in, analyzing them. That's still there, but it is not an essay. This is a creative project, okay? We have an online platform. My hope is that your finished products will be published in our class webpage for showcasing. That's what I'm gonna do with the best projects. I'm gonna showcase them in our class website. And then requirements. So I kind of started talking a little bit about them here, that you need to be aware. You need to use factual information, which comes from the articles. And then here's the question. Again, this question has been posed since we started the unit. How does a high school student prepare to be financially stable? Okay, that's the main question you're asking, to explain to your audience, how does a student, especially in high school, because that's kind of the transition towards real life, is graduating from high school, prepare to be financially stable. Now, financial stability has many branches, right? We've been talking about credit score. We spoke about credit cards. We talked about credit management. So like you're making sure that you're paying your stuff on time, your credit cards on time. And sorry, there's more people coming in for some reason. Oh, he's trying to come in. Okay, so all that is going to come together in this project. All those readings that you have done, the stuff about, we started off with savings, the emergency fund, how to get rid of debt. All those things are still there. How to purchase a car, the best ways. Okay, I don't know what's going on with his computer. Okay, so that's the anchoring question. That's the question that your project needs to answer, if you will. When I read your project, when I see your project, I need to, and I'm done with it, and I'm done reading whatever it is that you created, I want to be able to know how to prepare. If I was a student, I want to know how to be prepared for high school in terms of after high school in terms of finances. So when you are creating your project, you need to have in mind who your audience is and what you need them to know. right? You're going to explain, which is why this expository writing is all about that. It's explaining to a person what they have to do based on the research, based on the readings that we've been looking into, okay? All right. So here's just a few examples of what you can do. I only put some, but these are not, you know, this is not all of them. Sorry. Okay, number one, you can do, you can do a PSA, which is a public service announcement, which can be a poster, it can be a video, it could be a PowerPoint. I saw posters made in real life, and then just students just took pictures of it and submitted them through Google Classroom. That you can do that. Okay. In fact, let me show you guys. Let me go to the other class. I think somebody did a video on it. Yes, I remember. Okay, this is my other class. They already did this project when we started the distance learning. It's under homework. No, not here. Okay. Just trying to look for the person who created a video. Here it is. Okay, I think she created a video, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'll let it load. There it is. Okay, so you can see when she turned this in, she also turned in her graphic organizer. Here it is. And then she made a video. Here it is. I'll just let it play for a few seconds.
Today, we're going to need some life goals: savings, college, and no debt. I suggest getting a secured credit card. A secured credit card helps to build credit and is only temporary. After closing the card, you will receive your deposit.
Okay, I won't go into it because it's a little long, but she did a public service, well, not a public service, she did more like a video explaining all the stuff that we've been looking into. And then of course, throughout her video, she mentions all the resources that she used in completing her video, and of course quotes her sources. So that's one way. Another way is to create a website, and I did put in here that if you create a website, you'll receive extra credit for doing a website. And the reason behind that is that creating websites is hard. It takes a long time. It's quite a bit of time consuming. I know that some people took at least a week to get it done, working regularly on the websites, making sure the designs were of their liking, etc. Let me see if I can show you guys. I've showed you some of the websites that were created for this project. Let's see, who created a website? I think she created a website. Okay, so she used Wix, which is, I think, one of the easiest platforms to use. There's a lot of templates already placed where you can just use the templates and then just kind of change it around a bit to fit what you need to do. So this is the website that Sophia created. And as you can see, she put the anchoring question right at the very beginning. It's more like a little blog sort of website, financial advice for the youth. How does a high school student prepare to be financially stable? And then she put that little tab in there that takes you to all these, right? As you can see, there's her quotes, and then more information. And I think the reason why she didn't receive full credit or like she didn't get a perfect score is because she didn't include all the information. I think she put some sources, some links to others, other people's projects, but didn't do more. So that didn't give her full credit. So that's one of the things you guys can create. Okay, let me go back to it. So yeah, so you can create a website, which again will give you extra credit. You can create a blog page. There's a lot of ways in which you can create blogs. A lot of free platforms out there that can help you create your blog. So you can just go in and edit that. You can also do a one-pager, and right underneath this, I kind of put what a one-pager looks like, but you can always Google what a one-pager is. You can do an electronic one-pager, or you can create one in a regular piece of paper. The only thing that I'm requiring from these types of projects is that you put in all the information that I've given you. Again, there are 5 sources. The one about credit cards, one about the credit score, car, college, and savings. All those 5 topics have to appear in your project. I cannot say that enough, okay? You have to put those things in there. That's one of the big reasons why people did not get a full, like they didn't get the full points. There were some beautiful projects. Some people who have a lot of talent drew some amazing stuff, and it was really nice, but it didn't have all the information. And that's what counts. Because remember, you are trying to explain to a high school student how they should prepare to be financially stable. You can't just give them beautiful pictures and beautiful visuals without giving them the full researched information. You have done the research. You've read it. You've heard it from me. We've talked about it. We discussed it. You already know. All you got to do is transfer that information backed up by these articles that have a lot of research behind them and expose it to them, basically, which is why it's called expository writing, because you are explaining something to somebody. Okay. Before creating your project, and this is to give you guys a couple tips on how to do it. Who's your primary audience? You already know, high school students. So these are people who are young like you. What's your main message? Your main message is about finances, how to be prepared, what to know. What is a young person who's 17 or 18 years old, or even before that, because we went over the fact that preparing for paying for college doesn't start senior year. That starts freshman year or even beyond that. So what can you explain to a person who doesn't know how to pay for college? What can they do, right? Or doesn't know whether they should go to the dealer shop after high school and grab a car and take a car and start paying monthly payments, right? Or should they, I don't know, should they invest in this? All those things you have learned already. All you're doing is putting it together and explaining to them, look, this in this article, this is what it said. As a result, your decision should be this one, right? This is, again, the most important. What is your information? Is it clear? If I'm reading it, am I understanding what you're saying? What are the details? And of course, now we get to the requirements. So all these are my five requirements. In your project, you have to use all your 5 resources. And what are the resources? They are your readings. Where are your readings in Google Classroom? Super easy. You go to our Google Classroom, English 9. You go to classwork. In the topics, there's the 5 readings. There's 1. Underneath that, there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the links are there. You also have this Google Slide stuff that pretty much has, I want to say, a synthesis of all the information that we've been working on and working with and explaining. If you were lost or God knows where you were at, it's got like everything that you need to know about it. It's got APR. I mean, we did almost 30 slides worth of information talking about these ideas, okay? You can grab stuff from there, not copy and paste it, but like rephrase it and explain it in your own words, because these notes are based on examples we did in class, so you can't really use those, but you can make your own examples, you know? If you're gonna do a video and you're gonna be talking about these things, I took hours to get through these material, but if you have a script and you did it correctly, like the video that I was showing you guys, it doesn't take that long to put all the information in. So that's what I need from you guys in your as the requirements for your project. So you gotta use all the 5 resources, and then you also have to include textual evidence. Where is your textual evidence coming from? That's coming from your graphic organizer, this one. There's your textual evidence, and then there's your analysis. Okay, so that's where it's coming from. Your website has to have a clear message, and honestly, that's really hard to mess it up. If all your website is all about finances, then your message is that, you know, a student needs to be prepared, or students need to start thinking about it, thinking about college since 9th grade, you know, getting good grades, etc. What's your message? What do you want your audience to go away with? You know, at the end of the day, they're not going to remember every single number you put out there, but can they understand the basics of APR? Can they understand the basics of why is it not okay to fall into debt with a credit card, be spending $10,000 on a credit card and then ruining your credit? Why? Why should they care? You know, why should an 18-year-old person or 17-year-old person spend 10, 15 minutes browsing through the information you're giving them? What's in it for them? So make sure that you have a clear message for the person who's going to be exploring your project. Of course, I'm going to be doing it, but I'm going to be publishing some. And my biggest hope for this, it's not so much the project, though the project is obviously for the grade, and you know, I have to measure somehow you're learning in some way. I won't give you a final test or anything like that. This is your final. It's a project. But come senior year, come 18 years, your 18th birthday, this information is valuable. This information will help you make good decisions. And even then, I'm almost 100% sure one of you guys is going to make the mistake of, you know, graduating and getting a new car as your gift, and then being in debt for the next 5-6 years, or ruining your credit for that matter. I know that it's going to happen because it's happened in the past. It'll continue to go on probably, but at the very least, you didn't make those choices not knowing. You didn't make those choices out of ignorance because nobody ever taught you how to do these things. Senior year, you'll have an economics class devoted to this, but I personally don't think that economics class should be given to seniors, because by then they've already made a lot of bad choices that could have been prevented if somebody would have told them, look, if you get good grades, you're going to get money afterwards, right? That's one of the things. Or if you get good grades, you're going to learn. Or if you get, you know, if you work hard or whatever it is that the message is from that economics class, you can start preparing way before that. By 18, you've already like, you're ready to get started. You can't just start preparing then, you know. And even then, a lot of people graduate from high school not knowing how to do these things. So that's my personal goal, is to teach you guys about these things, because these things matter. They change lives. they uphold and create beautiful, amazing futures, but they can also destroy you. Credit score can destroy you in 2 seconds, and then you have nowhere to go. You have no one wants to rent you a home, an apartment. You know, you can't get a good loan on something because they're killing you with interest because of your bad credit score. You can't get the job that you want because of your bad financial decisions. I can't even begin to tell you how many problems you'll have if you don't take these things too hard and make good decisions about your finances. So that's one of the stuff. That's kind of like the why we're doing this. In your requirements, I also want to see visuals, whatever it is that you do, whether it's a video, whether it's a poster, if it's a PowerPoint. I don't just want to see writing. I also want to see visuals. I want to see videos put in there, links, whatever you want to do, drawings. I know some of you guys are really good in drawing and you want to do that. That's awesome. So I want to see these 2 things. That's what your project is about. Textual evidence, the research, information, and then of course your visuals, okay? I'm going to be very picky about this because it is something that's going to be published. I want little to no grammar errors. So I'm talking about commas, I'm talking about misspellings, capitalize your I's, your names. I mean, you guys are in 9th grade, get it together. Don't know how to spell, do a spell checker, whatever it is that's going to take you to not make those grammar errors. But it's time. You're basically sophomores now. Like, you need to get it together. Okay, so those are the 5 requirements for your project. Okay, the most important ones that I'm looking into is 1, 4, and 5. If one of those fails, not much is going to happen for your project. Okay. I did put a couple of websites here. Let me fix this. I don't think I linked it. They're all linked, so you can just click on them. There it is. Okay, so for websites, I personally use Wix. I think it's very easy. It's a free platform. There's all kinds of little things you can manipulate. If you've never seen it, there's all kinds of videos out there to teach you how to build it. There's Weebly. I had somewhat of experience with it, but it's a lot like Wix, so there's really not getting lost from there. There's blogger.com, which helps you build a blog. It's a platform to publish a blog. OpenShot, that's how you can edit your videos. I linked some PSA, public service announcements, video samples here. And of course, inputted a 1-pager picture. This is obviously a 1-pager of the book, The Outsiders. In this case, it would be Finances After High School, or whatever your title may be. Sorry, that alarm went on. Okay, and now to the interesting part, or the most important part probably, is your timeline. So put this in your heads, take a picture of it, whatever you do, but you need to have this in your radar. So Tuesday, this is next Tuesday, so next week, I'm checking. So that's my first revision. You're not going to turn it in. The revisions will work this way. You're going to log into Zoom. You're going to stay there, though you're working on your own. And I'm going to put you in a room, so in a different room in Zoom, and then I'm going to ask you to share your progress with me. So I'm going to ask you to share your screen so I can see your progress. Okay, so you don't need to turn it in. You just need to show me how much you've done. If Tuesday comes and you can't show me that you've started creating your website, you're already putting your tabs, or you're already drawing your 1-pager, or you already like have a script for your video, whatever it is that you can show me progress. If you don't have that, I'm gonna request a conference between you and your parents. So I don't want to meet your parents to tell them that you're being lazy, but I can. Just so you know that. So please make sure that by the time when I ask you to check your, sorry about that, my sister is calling. So make sure that by June 2nd, I can actually see your screen with work progress be done. The second check or the first revision will continue through Thursday, June 4th. This is next week, okay? Which means, remember, there is no more homework in our class. There is no more classwork in our class. There is nothing else due. There's no common lits due anymore, more than the ones that I had already published that were due like last week. If you haven't done them, then yeah, you got to do them. But I'm not gonna put anything new that's due. No more homework, no more classwork. Nothing is due anymore unless you haven't done it. The only thing that's due is this project that I'm explaining right now. And the first revision of progress I'm gonna do next week on Tuesday and next week on Thursday. Then your project deadline, this is when it's due. This is June 9th, and let me get the date for that. So June 9th is Tuesday. You can see we've got the rest of this week, next week, and then it's due. So we got 2 weeks to get this done. So Tuesday, and the time that it's due, it is due at your last period, it is due at 12 p.m. So 12 noon. Know and understand, because I cannot be more clear about this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do all caps. No late projects accepted. So please be aware, I am not grading anything that's turned in. I don't care how beautiful it is. I don't care. You have a deadline, you meet the deadline. The world can happen, it doesn't matter, because you have 2 weeks to get it done. I'm not giving you this last day of school. I'm not giving it to you the week before school ends. I'm giving it to you 2 weeks in advance of something that we have done for the past 2 months. If you haven't done it, that's your problem. You need to get it together. Go read those things. They take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to read. Get your quotes in and start doing it. That's how I don't know how else. You're not a baby. Most of you guys are 14, 15 years old. Some of you are 13, but you can understand stuff. So you don't need anybody nagging you around, telling you what to do. You know what to do. I'm not going to accept late projects. So please don't even bother to text me, email me saying, can I have an extension? Because there is no extensions. Okay. So have that in your head. Yes, I'll get that done in a minute, Anastasia, when I'm done with the class. Okay. So have that in your mind that there is no late projects being accepted. I'm still meeting with people. I'm not going to meet today with anyone, but I am meeting with people on Thursdays. I think I'm meeting with people on Wednesdays for another class, and of course Friday. If you need help in anything and you don't have a phone, all you have to do is contact me through the website. How do you do that? Super easy. You go to our class website, and you already know which one it is. And it doesn't matter where you go, anywhere in the website, the chat box appears here. All you got to do is send your message and say, hi. And I'll receive it instantly. And I can reply to you instantly. See? It's in my phone now. And I'm going to send a message, like a text message. And here it is. It's like a chat. So it really works because you can do this. And a lot of people do use it to contact me because they don't have phones. So not having a phone is not an excuse for you not to ask for help. You can send me an email if you want. That's fine with me. What I cannot have is you emailing me the day before it's due, like Sunday, June 9th, and asking me for extension, because that's not going to happen. So there is no late projects. There is no extensions on this one. I need this project by June 9th. And after that, I'm not grading anything. And you're going to fail because this project is the final, basically. Okay. All right. With that, I'm going to let you guys work. I have about 15 minutes left. I need to talk to some people privately, so do not leave. If you leave, you're not gonna get your points for the attendance. You have, so stay here for 10 minutes, start working or start putting together your graphic organizer. If you haven't done that, you can do that. I already showed you where all the materials are at. You need to get started. Are there any questions about the project? Questions about the project? Let me unmute you guys. Where is it? No, I want to unmute. Okay. Doesn't sound like there are any questions. Okay, cool. So I have, let's see if they're here. We have 22 people in. We need, okay, I don't have Ben Wendland in here. Okay, all right. Well, this is the project. I'm gonna put several of you into rooms. I'm gonna put Miss Denny. I'm gonna have you work with Braden for the next 10 minutes. Talk about what he wants to do, possible brainstorming about the project, etc. Okay, and then the rest of you, if I'm sending you an invite to go to a room, that's because I need to talk to you personally. So just join into the room and we're gonna get started, okay? The rest of you need to start working on your projects, brainstorming what it is that you're gonna do for the next 10 minutes that we have in class. You have your deadlines here. I'm checking progress next week. So pace yourself. You already know how you work. Get it done, okay? All right, so do not go anywhere. I am here and I am meeting with people. Let me create the rooms, Miss Denny, for you guys. Let's see, stop my share. I'm gonna stop my recording.